I worked on it. It activated. As soon as you write something down, your mind naturally and automatically wants to figure it out, whether you aware of it or not.
Big facts.
Your body follows your mind. So if you write down, I am free. If you write down, I am love. If you write down abundance, it don't have no choice but to manifest.
Yeah.
Bree, go get that comment and pin it for
They
me.
taught us how to look. They taught us how to program ourselves with bullshit.
Yeah.
Seriously, they taught us how to program ourselves with Coke 45 and Schlitz malt liquor.
And
Mm-hmm.
music that's, talking
Low
about
vibe.
killing and it's just
But
insane.
that's the war cry on the land for real, for real.
Yeah,
See, I was just gonna say, tell them
That's so
about
that
your perspective on the
all of the
music.
chiefs right now. Look, all of the chiefs right now, all they slightly agitated.
I agree.
All of the chiefs. When you talking to these brothers that's aware, they slightly agitated because they know something wrong and they know they supposed to be doing something, but they can't quite get their
That's
finger
right.
around what
That's
they
right.
supposed to be doing.
That's right. I agree. I totally agree. I always used to say them brothers that we call thugs and the sisters we call thugs. I'm like, no, those are leaders. They just don't know how to express themselves in
They're
the sense that's
warriors.
yes. They just need to be guided. Like you said, they're
Mhm.
agitated.
Hey, look, our family philosophy of all of the tribes, no matter which one you pick. If anybody in the tribe learns something that all of the tribes can benefit, he's obligated to offer it to all of the tribes.
Mm.
That's right.
Right?
Damn, Bree, we didn't even know that that's what we was doing with this page.
Hmm.
Yep. Anybody when you become aware of something that's a benefit to all of the tribes, you're supposed to start talking about it, getting the word out to the rest of the clan.
Listen, baby, I'm out here blowing this whistle so motherfucking loud. Listen,
Hey,
this
Rod, you
horn
gonna love
blowing
her.
like like. Let me tell y'all, my spirit. So I'm like, yo, I don't even know. It's like
She
something.
Geechee, Rod.
It's some.
You should catch her.
It's like something possesses my body. Like you better do this shit, or like other else. What are you doing?
Yeah. Are you in it
Like
to
what
win
the
or not?
fuck?
She'll
Look,
get excited
motherfuckers
and
think
come
they
out of nowhere and just start fucking whistling and doing the chant, the Geechee chant, and she don't even know she doing it.
It's like oh man.
I be over here.
I be like,
See, she be doing that shit right there. She don't even know she do.
yeah.
See how geek she is, bro. This shit's hilarious.
Let's go.
This
That's
live,
right.
hey, this live is live, man.
You got to understand that everything is a rhythm. Everything is a vibration. When you have to understand when our ancestors, like right now, we in a battle with papers. We casting out spells. Whereas our ancestors, they fought with their hands and not, but they had the rhythm of a beat. It was like their why was in the rhythm of just like music and that. Let me tell y'all something. The day that I dropped my last letter in the mail that unserved my written position, I went back home to where I was born, where I was created, and I screamed over the rivers out loud. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
cry just came
You
out.
was crying out to your ancestors.
Banshee screaming.
And that shit,
Hey, Rod, now tell her because before the case, I was like, go home. Like right after the day you left, I was like, go home, smoke you one because she smoked. I want you to tell them about your perspective about us and our connection with the tree.
Okay, so first of all, it's a mirror to carbon melanin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mirror, so when you use it, it creates a hologram with your melanin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now you're gonna get the munchies. You gonna want to listen. You gonna want to eat that sweet sugar
look,
shit.
I had my
Yeah.
apple pie before
For
you came
real,
home.
man. Hey, you see, he ain't
All
lying
right
though, man.
now, the sugar gives what they call a dirty burn in the brain,
Mm.
creating a soot. This is the awakening the Lord set. That's why
Ooh.
cannabis is the dog plant.
Mm.
It's ruled by Canis major, Canis minor,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? And so the
Oh, my man
THC,
getting into the stars. Okay.
the THC,
I told you he tapped in, bro.
the THC creates the neurological hologram for you to be able to see what they
Hold on.
call angel
I gotta
vision.
light my shit up.
Bro,
Oh,
so
this
like
is
so
this.
check it. Hey, can I let me jump in real quick. So just like I'm going off exactly what you're saying. So I don't know anybody in here ever dabbled with DMT. See that like that. That's what the mushroom stuff is like. Mike, when you try DMT, try try with
Let's do
CBD.
something different. Right now, we talking about the cannabis.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I'm talking about. It's the same thing. Only reason I mentioned the DMT is because I use it with the cannabis because the cannabis it accesses the DNA. Exactly what you just explained. The
So
reason
the
why I
DMT, the DMT like stimulates more DMT to be produced by the pineal,
yeah.
and the
Mm.
pineal kind of like light up in your head.
That's why so much
Mm-hmm.
war on this plant, y'all. Do y'all understand? Think about this shit they
Somebody said
saying.
Rob from another realm.
Hey, so look, when you get the dirty burn, you're creating the soot. Now, also when you smoking, you ingesting the CBD oils.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
The oils mix with the soot, right?
How the fuck do you know this?
Now you got an electromagnetic current jumping nerve cells in the brain, right? Dendrites and axions is firing neurons, and so what happens is the CBDs in the brain, the polyunsaturated fat, becomes a conductor. It makes the flow from one nerve cell to the next nerve cell happen with less resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Now your capacitor is firing on full throttle.
Mm.
Big facts, and it's crazy because if you, it's just what you talking about the capacitor. If you look at the brain, you ever see Back to the Future, the flux capacitor?
Mm-hmm.
The flux capacitor look just like the cerebellum.
Mm. It's all connected, designed off of us, bro.
Now
Yeah,
watch this. Look up something called an endocannabinoid system.
yeah, endocannabinoid. Yeah,
That's your spirit body.
yes, yeah.
Mm.
When it's weak and you smoke the THC, it's going to put you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to go in
Mm.
the astral to draw more light.
Facts, my guy.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Say that shit one more time.
You got okay. So when your spirit body is weak, your endocannabinoid system,
Mm-hmm.
and you smoke the THC, you're gonna fall asleep,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're
right?
not gonna dream either.
Right. But you're gonna have to go to the astral because you need to get the extra astral light to strengthen the endocannabinoid system. This
Mm-hmm.
is what you call building up your resistance.
Yep.
My God.
Mm.
Bro, my man's a genius over here.
I told you, big dog.
Did you building up resistance? Let me light up
Because
one more.
he talking about all the subjects that we split. That literally he talking about the first like the first man. He hitting on all the logics of everything: astronomy, astrology, electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. He hitting on everything because all it's all together. It's all connected.
That's why I wanted. That's why I wanted you to come on first, drop the remittance, so that way you could be a part of this. Because I knew he would rock your shit.
Yeah, this the shit I like talking about. I love that
I
knowledge.
already,
This
I'm
my
already know it,
yeah. I'm talking about, man. I'd explore the spirit, the astral, man.
bro. Y'all don't think I don't.
I'd
All the people I tapped in with, I don't think you're gonna find somebody more well versed in spiritual knowledge and connecting it back to us as a people than Rod. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you to be here, God. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to hear to get that tone of voice, man.
Yeah, I'm coming. When I get an opportunity to speak to the family, I'm coming.
Period.
Come with that fire. I'm talking about.
We
Hey, I'm
appreciate it.
telling y'all better be taking notes, man. Especially if y'all trying to understand the spiritual nature of being. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to be here, be present
Now
now.
the spiritual warfare becomes physical when we start to reclaim the land.
Yep.
Facts. That's why they're afraid of
Mm-hmm.
it. That's why they're afraid of everything that we're
Yep.
doing. That's why we are the threat because we are the threat to their establishment. We us waking up to our spiritual being, to us knowing who we are. That's the scariest thing the system could ever come across.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't about us. It ain't got nothing to do with us writing no contracts. It's about us understanding that we are.
Hey, Bree, before you get high, don't forget to save this live before, when we done.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Oh,
aware.
she about to partake too.
Mm-hmm.
I just got finished, so I'm good.
Right now.
Hey, so look. So once you build up your endocannabinoid system, your spirit body, right, you become more relaxed being who you are.
Period.
Facts.
Now, it's a side effect to that.
More than
Y'all
religion.
ever heard the term assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's a
ever do
thing.
the research on the history of the word?
Mm-mm. Tell us shit.
Okay, so
You said assassin?
yeah, the word assassin comes from hashashin.
That's beautiful.
It's an Arabic word. It means those who smoke the hash.
Mm.
Say that again.
Hashashin.
Hashashin.
That's beautiful.
Okay, now this was an Islamic group in the Middle East, and when they smoke the herb, the hash, they form a hive mind, and the leader of the hive
Bruh.
can tell them when to assassinate his enemies.
Mm.
So he can activate them just by telepathic communication because they tied
Eee.
in on that frequency
Mm.
through the hash, the hashish, which is partially decomposed marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
What the?
Mm.
What damn?
Oh yeah, it's a lower form.
Hmm
Now she used to get you
It's no, it's
faded.
a more condensed form.
Yeah, it'll get
Can
you
we
That's
get
cooked.
a minute? Can we get a minute? Can we get a minute to digest? Can we just like give us five? Hold on, let me give us 5 seconds of silence. Goddamn it! Hold on, do
oh
y'all
no,
hear?
Hey,
I'm finna finish telling y'all.
hey, Rob,
So over
what's
here
your
on
sign,
this
bro?
land, we had a custom, and we used to smoke the herbs with the visitors because when they smoke the herb, if they try to lie, we instantly know it. We become a human lie detector test.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm-hmm.
So this is why they always
That's
had
why
to
you can
smoke
feel
the
them
peace
energies
pipe.
when you high.
And anybody don't smoke the peace pipe,
Bro.
we didn't do business with them. We can't trust them.
Have any
Ooh.
man, bro? So one of the craziest things is like on shrooms. Whenever I would take shrooms and I would smoke weed, like I know I don't smoke weed before I take shrooms because I want to be able to take off with no unimpeded.
Hmm
But when the shrooms hit a peak, I smoke to pretty much keep myself balanced on earth, right? But
hmm
I started realizing that. So I would smoke, it'll chill me out, and then somebody would come around me, somebody a negative energy. The weed would show me everything about them. Like you could see they whole outer shell, they whole aura, they mask and everything. And I would get the worst fear in the world. It's not necessarily fear. I think it's like it's the astral connection, the astral cord or whatever that aura is. Whenever that aura comes into your aura, you feel it. It's being projected onto you. You pick up the energy, anything that's on them. And yeah, man, what you just said, like how you said, like yeah, bro, go ahead, my bad, man. I had to throw that in there.
So we used to use different herbs with it. Like we might put rose petals in it.
Wow, that sounds
Yeah, Lotus, all that. Blue
We
Lotus.
might put lavender leaf in it. I mean,
Lovely.
lavender petals.
lavender. Mm-hmm.
Right, lavender is to help relax you.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
help you sleep too.
Hmm
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have you ever used Blue Lotus? You ever rock with the Blue Lotus?
I
Egyptian
haven't.
blue,
Not this go round. I'll put
but
it
you
that
but you
way.
know about it, right? You know about the Egyptian blue lotus?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the flower that's all on the Egyptian here, hieroglyphs and stuff. But blue lotus changed my life. Blue lotus wine. It
hmm
I don't know, man. I feel like we used to I feel like all of us used to kick it, man. I feel like, what I'm saying, when our last time kicking it all as a group, man, right before the flood came, we all kicked it. We was sitting there drinking blue lotus wine, having the same conversation. Straight up.
Hell
I
yeah.
know for a fact I knew y'all on my past. I know for a fact,
Hell
man.
yeah.
We was definitely kicking it in the past life. Fucking shit up, climbing pyramids and shit. Straight
those already ready to go too. Those two videos, and I found
hmm
like two more too. Let me go ahead and switch to the left real quick.
So
Oh yeah, it's about to get greasy and
we're gonna
sleep.
lay the foundation of the Louisiana pyramid. I mean, Louisiana Purchase,
Okay.
and what was part of it in the Lewis and Clark expedition. So when you get ready to pull up the pictures, it's going to be the one that got the Port of New Orleans. It got um you got all that stuff already on it. Port of New Orleans, the Louisiana Trail that they took, Lewis and Clark Trail that they took, And all that's in the same folder.
The folder still right here. Oh yeah, it starts right here. Like your folder start right here.
No, I want to start with a map of the
Okay,
Louisiana.
I got you. I got you then. I guess this one right here.
Mm-hmm. See if we blow it up for us, we can read it.
I'm gonna blow it up.
You see where it say Louisiana in the green?
Yep, right here. Acquired by U.S. in 1803.
All right. Louisiana Purchase was one of the largest real estate deals in history. The United States purchased the Louisiana territory from France at a price of $15 million, or approximately 4 cents an acre. The Louisiana Purchase doubled the size of the United States and opened up North America to westward expansion. You see this trail that they're showing in the red, right? That's the trail that Lewis and Clark traveled.
Okay.
Okay. For the next thing, pull that up right there. Blow that up. Let's look at that logo since it's here. You see that say Port Nola, the port of New Orleans.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened with the Louisiana Purchase is this is what they bought.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Now I think I sent you an actual picture of the port.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, you okay. All right. It's a Louisiana Purchase.
I think I see a couple pictures over. The other way, you're going the wrong way.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Go back. You just passed it. Keep going. This should be up in here. Okay, look what that say. This is a book about the Lewis and Clark expedition in the Louisiana Purchase.
Uh-huh.
What made me get the book is blow the cover up some more.
I'm gonna blow it up.
Look at the people in the picture.
Yeah. All right,
What
this
you?
right here.
Yeah.
He's like a dog skin kind of cat. She like a mate.
They had being Bay was a translator, but they called in the record and say they big buck Negro.
Yeah, big buck Negro.
And they never identified who he was. But we know who he was because Big B and Bay wrote about being on the Lewis and Clark expedition and translating.
Yeah.
So go back another picture. Let's see what the next one back is. The other way. Yeah. So this is what we was supposed to be talking. These talking points.
Uh-huh.
Right. So you got to remember, they said that the Louisiana Purchase was one of the biggest land purchases, real estate deals in history, right?
Uh-huh.
But they only bought the port.
They only bought the port. All right, go ahead, get that head. Get a rock.
Okay, now the purchase agreement grants the protectorate right that the French had to secure the organic people against the invading hordes coming from the east, where we call them English, Dutch, French, Spanish conquistadors, nobles, the black nobility, aka the goddamn white man.
Okay. Go ahead.
And the white man ain't white.
Nah, we know that. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Okay, now, so we know that they purchased it, but we don't know about the protectorate agreement.
Uh-huh.
When they sold the port of New Orleans, they actually sold the protectorate rights as well. They didn't sell the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. I'm with you.
Now, what Lois and Clark did was a land survey.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they traveled across to the Pacific Ocean. They knew where they was going because that was a major port town up in that area where they went.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the map and look at where they went again. Make sure you get that top northwestern corner right there. That's what we want to look at. We want to see what's over there. Where did they go?
Say the fort. Hold on. I got a better. It's a better one in here. Oh, it's a better one. It's right here. Not the Louisiana Purchase. No, I'll go back right here. All right, they went to Fort Chastop. Spot.
I can't see it clear enough.
Yeah.
But I can see the fort part.
Yeah, it say Fort. I don't know if that's a T or L. It says Fort Pops. And the Nez Percy tribe. I know I heard of that tribe. The Blackfoot. It says Blackfoot, Shoshone, Nez Percy, Fort Mandan. That's over here, right here.
All these are showing the people they interacted with when they stopped, where they met them at. These was already settled lands, because everywhere they stepping at, it's a tribal village. Right? That's why they know who is the Sioux, who is the Floyd, right? Who is St. Charles? Well, who do they run into in St. Charles? All of these is settlements. All right, now, the natural land barrier was the Appalachians on the east, which would have been in the area that's pink. In the United States at the time, wasn't that big. It was only the original 13 colonies. Right? And the French was losing the war to the indigenous people, and they sold the protectorate agreement with the Port of New Orleans to the incoming legal fiction or bankers called the United States Court.
Okay.
All right. So from here, we need to know, when they looking at the land, what are they looking to see? Who live in the castle?
Yeah, who live in the castle? So
a lot of people don't know there's castles on this land. So we're going to run them videos so they can see some of the castles. Okay. And then we're going to go over what they did with them.
All right, I got you.
You can watch much of each one of them as you want to. I think the longest one is like 10 minutes. Okay. Something like that.
We got you.
But I want them to see that it's castles over here that's been here the whole time.
Yeah, and who built these castles? Hey, who built the castles, Brother Rod?
Who been here the whole time?
We were.
Exactly. So you got to remember, they doing the land survey. What is they surveying the land for?
To steal it?
Look, George Washington said that when they came across the land, there was people that was rulers, but they didn't rule over nobody.
What? Go ahead.
Right? So they had to, somebody got to be the subject. Right? Well, if you got a subject, you know you're going to need a predicate. Right? Noun and a pronoun, an adjective and the verb. We're going to put the whole sentence structure out there. Right? So the sentence is they was searching the land to see who was living in these elaborate places right here. This is real critical to understand, and this is why it's critical for us to go over these videos. See if you can make it full screen so I can really get good look. One monkey don't stop no show. So we're going to get back into this because I still got to go. I have to show y'all why the sign that I was told to read the snake, the sign I was told to read the eagle, and the sign I was told to read the bear. They all came to me right before I went live sometime yesterday. All this information came in. This is all new information I had to read as the signs came in. So I'm gonna do a couple more. I'm not gonna do as many invites this time because they know I'm on air. Okay, so now we go through here And you go through here, and I go back to this other phone. Now the other phone got a lot of got some pictures in it I want to go over because I got to show y'all the signs I read. Now y'all seen the y'all seen how I end up moving out of the ethers. I showed y'all that. I told y'all I was going to show y'all that yesterday. Now you understand why the ethers aren't visible as they were. Why you can't see the angelic beings and we passed that. We on another level. All right. So now I'm gonna flip my camera again. This came to me in my messenger yesterday. Young lady sent this to me. Now the symbolism for this, if you see those wings, that's telling me I have to tie the eagle in. Now the RH negative on the onyx background is telling me APEP, RH negative, which is the serpent. Now I have to show what the serpent is, right? So now I have to show the connection between the serpent blood or the serpent strain, APOP, chaos. The chaos being ties me back to the Queen Mother in the 13th seat through the house of Hathor. Remember I showed y'all the gates. Through the house of Hathor and the RH negative blood, this gives me access to the bikers. This gives me access to the biker gangs, where we call them Hell's Angels. All bikers, no matter what their club is, in the heavens are known as Hell's Angels. Do ride the iron horse. Now, if you look in Revelations, you will see they ride. They say that it was like like iron horses was riding in the street. Those motorcycles. That's Hell's Angels we talking about. So the shield, right? The shield represents the royal families, the royal crest or the royal shield. And it also represents the warrior clan. Now, when we talk warrior clan, Red Lodge, we think Chief Malik. Chief Malik Angel Bey, who was in charge of the Mufti. He's the military guard. So now that's how, all this is telling me Red Lodge. The Red Lodge is telling me there's some unfinished business. The Blue Lodge is complete. Now I have to get her out of the Red Lodge. Well, I did that last night, but these just some loose ends I'm tying up to show y'all. Okay, now, before I go there, I want to go back. I want to go back to the part where nope, it's not here. Oh, I remember. Portia. So yesterday, as a matter of fact, Portia sent me 4 pictures. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. The first 2 was 2 downward triangles. They were incomplete. That's the descent of the woman. Now she had to send me the ascent of the man, but she can't do it because I got to make a connection. Now, if I go to her messenger to show you what I'm talking about, matter of fact, I should have let her send. But she sent, so I had to have a conversation with her because she got to give me 3 knocks. She got to give me 3 knocks to allow me through the gate of Hathor. And now, how did I know it was her? Go back to her post. Go back to Portia's post. And matter of fact, Portia, can you tag that post where you posted those pictures of the cows in your yard while I was on the phone with you? Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs. That's all this is. Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs in order to find our way back home. Right? Now, we had a lot of people doing a lot of work. And sometimes, you don't always see it for what it is. So, I can't miss nothing. I can't miss nothing. I'm not allowed to miss nothing. All right, so here as I go down, she sent me, now watch this, y'all. I'm going to flip the camera so y'all can see. Jay-Z. What do this tell me? Now you see that 7 on Jay-Z's shirt? What do this say? Expect heavy information on this ritual that went down. You'll find the breakdown this weekend on YouTube channel. That's whoever posted this said that. I didn't say that. Ani Asaru said that. Now look at here. This is Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick. Now I had to look his name up. His last name is an acronym. I'm not going to get into that right now because I don't have the information accessible fast enough to make this video flow. But then she sent me this symbol. Now you see the downward pyramid. Now we are approaching the gate of Hathor. But she got to send me at least one more downward pyramid. And watch this. Okay, now I'm telling her she got some more work to do. Watch this. I told her, go over yesterday. And this is what she responded. Now remember, and a blue star and a red star, two becomes one in sacred union of heaven and earth. What mystics terms calling down heaven or calling heaven and earth, if you grasp that concept, as above, so below. Now, watch. The fire and the water, the earth and the air. Where's the fifth element? Remember the key in the chest. Love. Remember the movie Fifth Element. Ether is materialized akasha, subtle body vibrating at a different rate. Akasha is pure manifestation power as seen, which can only be actualized by harmonious male-female synthesis in 3D reality. Now, this is what she sent back that I had put in a comment on one of her posts, but it didn't have nothing to do. Initially, I didn't think it had anything to do with anything, but then I went back and I reread it. So this is telling me the two becomes one. Now she's sending me the downward triangle as we go down, and then I showed her that, and we kept going. Go do your homework. I have one more photo to locate. Now we going. Oh, no, wait. Okay, so now this is what told me that she had to give me the 3 knots. When this came in, behind that. Now, later on, in the course of her, I needed the right side up here triangles. And in this picture, look, right side up triangle. But I still need one more to match the other downward triangle. Because remember, we had to have 4 of them. Watch. You see it? Now, while she was doing this on the conscious level, she has no freaking clue what she's doing. This same picture right here, I sent to her a while ago. The difference was the 2 hands that now holds this triangle was palms open over the face. These eyes were in the palm. So now this is showing me the progress of the man. Whatever I did made her have to uncover her eyes. Now go back to the scales of justice for the United States judicial system, and she have the scales. The lady justice was blindfolded. Now remember, she had to take her hands from her eyes, but her eyes are not on her face. They're over her shoulders. That's the dark mother watching over the daughter as she proceeds to us sin. Right? Now you remember the apple. Now that's Snow White. Bit the apple. Remember Eve, the forbidden fruit? The forbidden fruit was connecting the love and the intellect, the heart and the mind. That's the real forbidden fruit because that's the key to eternal life. Right? Now, then, coming to find out, here's the knot. This is the knot that ties her into her father being a traveling man, right? She's a former biker. So she got to tie me back into the biker through the Masonic Lodge, which was her father, right? So this is the house of Hathor. This is the final gate. This is the final gate. Look at her. You see her? You see it? This is the Kali form right here. This Kali. When she get to go to work, now look who she with. She with the lioness. She's with the lion. Remember? She had to take the sword to cut off the leg, right? Then the imposter who had severed her head, now she had to reveal the imposter. That means she had to take his head. But it required the wisdom. See the serpent? It required the wisdom. I'm reading this shit for y'all right here. Now, look. An open hand. It's a right hand. This is a 5. 5-pointed star. Islam more. Remember, Islam more. Okay, now watch this. Here, she holds the cup. Lest my cup overflow. Right? This is another weapon of war in her left hand. Then she have the open hand outstretched. That's acceptance. Come on this way. This is through the gate. Now look what happened. Kali turned into a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-pointed star. Why? Because the 8 represents the woman. The 8 represents the woman, but not just the regular. That's the young maiden or the princess about to be the queen. When you see Kali standing in front of it, this is her transitional form. This is her, what they call resurrection form. In symbolism. In symbolism. Right? So now, let's go back. We got some more going back to do, so. All these different signs had to be met in order to read everything exactly for what it was. So then what's next? What's next? All right, now, I got to tie all this shit together. That's what's next. What did I miss so far that they think I overlooked, that I didn't make a solid connection on? During my barrister discourse, in reviewing the R. Kelly case, and those who was trumping up the charges against R. Kelly, I had to find out if they was making it up or if it was true, and if they was making it up, what course of action. No, the physical is not more powerful than the spiritual. I could not believe this stuff is crazy. But anyway, so how do I analyze the R. Kelly case, the Bill Cosby case, and how do I tie in to what looked far-fetched as in RICO, right? Now, in the R. Kelly case, they said that R. Kelly's camp was transporting minors across state lines for illicit sexual purpose, and nobody understands how RICO Act applies to that. The RICO Act applies to that through the Dr. Malachi Z. York case. It's the exact same thing. They saying that Dr. Malachi Z. York was transporting minors across the state line for sexual purposes, but here's the kicker. That's not what he in there for. He in there for racketeering and corrupt organizations. The corrupt organization was supposed to be the sex trafficking ring, right? It was all false. It's a mirror. It's the mirror to show me how to analyze R. Kelly. Now, what about Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby is fabricated. Bill Cosby case is predicated upon false witnesses. The girls are reading from a script. When you go back to the documentary and watch the panel, there's key things that every one of them will say that's exactly the same word for word. Impossible. No two people on earth go through the same experience on their own that's not together and will repeat the same story word for word. Bill Cosby's hoax is revealed. R. Kelly's hoax is revealed. The RICO Act applies the same way it applied to Malachi. So if you want to know how the RICO Act applied to those people fabricating that case, they were the ones trying to feed the babies to R. Kelly and trying to force them little kids up on him. And he tried to run from it to the point where he shut down. He stopped performing, stopped producing music and everything to try to avoid the trap that was being laid for him. So the people that was actually doing the transporting of the minors to try to get at his money are the actual guilty parties. And the RICO Act is predicated upon the corruption in the corporation, the organization they created to entrap R. Kelly. What do I mean by that? when a group of people come together to the detriment of an individual, that's called conspiracy, and it's 5 elements. A corrupt organization is an organization that operates from an illegal standpoint. So RICO, racketeering, is the running of a corrupt organization. Racketeering and corrupt organization is when the corruption in the organization is exposed. The racketeering is revealed, as in the case of R. Kelly with the sex case. When the racketeering is revealed, at that point, everybody involved that can be charged with a conspiracy can lose all personal assets under RICO. RICO can be implemented as civil or as criminal. But the barristers don't understand how I came to the conclusion that R. Kelly's case can be retaliated with using RICO. The RICO Act, the conspiracy, and the perjury, and fabricating of evidence, and coercion of witnesses. All of those things come together to perform a corrupt organization. The ringleader is the one who organized this shit to bring R. Kelly down, right? So if they organized it to bring R. Kelly down, how do we show that they did it? It's in the evidence is there. All of the evidence is visible. Ain't none of it a secret. None of this stuff been secret from us. But what they do is they'll print a story and leave it to your imagination to run wild instead of tell you the truth. They'll only tell you enough to make your imagination run wild. Bill Cosby was in a fight for NBC for many years. It's verifiable information. Anybody with 2 drops of common sense can look it up. In the fight for NBC, right, he lost his son. He was accused of fathering some crazy little girl outside of his marriage, and he gave her a whole bunch of money to get the fuck out of his life. All kind of stuff was launched against Bill Cosby in the business arena that you don't know about to stop him from owning NBC. They never want us, rightful heirs to the throne, to inherit any positions of power in media, politics, military, science, technology, any other great fields of the world that covers all 10 areas of people activity. Dr. Neely Fuller gave us 9. I add health to make it 10 because health needs its own category. Health is the string by which the other 9 areas of people activity is hinged. What are they? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. All 9 areas must be controlled. Who's controlling them and how? Go to the protocols of the wise man of Zion. That's your mirror. Everything Neely Fuller tell you is a thing that white supremacy's ideology must control. The military position of white supremacy had to control all 9 areas of people activity, right? They are told them how to control them in the protocols. So that's your mirror, right? Those are your adversaries. So now, from there, we go to, now we got Suge Knight. Okay, now we got R. Kelly, right? We got R. Kelly, we got Bill Cosby, and we got Malachi York being shown how the fabrication is being played out in real time. Now, Suge Knight. Now remember, I went to the Bears yesterday, and there's a Bible verse that you have to be aware of if you want to know what Suge Knight got to do with this. So I'm gonna go to the little iconography. I love saying that word, iconography. And I'm going to show you the verse and the imagery that goes with it. Right? Now this is kind of cool. Alright, now let me flip my camera so y'all can see it. Here, now notice 2 Kings 2. That's 22. Kings. That's 2 master kings I gotta identify, is what that's telling me. And the 5 is coming through the 5-point star, right? Meaning coming through the mother line. and it got to be interpreted by the father line. The 6 is a man, the 5 is the woman, the 6-point star, the 5-point star. Now, who in the hell is these 2 kings? Let's see. Then he went up from there to Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, young lads came out from the city and mocked him and said, "Go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head." Now, they said that twice. So that means there's 2 bald head people here. Now, remember, we in the Red Lodge. We messing around at Death Row Records now. The Death Row Records. When he looked behind him and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. He cursed them in the name of the Lord. And then 2 female bears came out of the woods and tore up 42 lads of their number. Very sweet story. Now, I had to find through the matriarchal line who these 2 kings was. My clue was the bear. My clue was the bear. Now, remember I told y'all that she got 2 bears to represent her clan. This is the 5. So the 2 bears that she got was the cubs. So the mirror effect say these 2 bears are adults. So that's why I say go up, you bald head, twice. It's 2 bald heads. It's 2 bald head bloods we talking about here. One brought in the other, meaning Suge brought in Pac. But Pac was already blessed through the Panthers, through the Lion Clan, through Bast, right? Black Panther, the movie. Go back and look at it. Now watch this. Pac had a song called, the song was called Never Had a Friend Like Me. Never had a friend like me. This popped up while I was doing my research. Now it sent me to Proverbs 17:17. But did it really send me to Proverbs? What is a proverb? A proverb is a wise riddle. Now look, 1-7 and 1-7. You got the 2 1s, that's my mama, and the 2 7s, that's me. Got the 2 1 now, but now watch what they happen to them when you add them, because you see the colon in the middle. That's the break. So now, what was my mother's line, the mother line, the red lodge, and what was the father line, the perfected man, the blue lodge. When you add these 2 numbers, you got 88. That's called the queen's seat. 80 is the queen's chair. 88 is the seated queen. So in order to seat the queen, friends, a friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. So now you look at all this red shit. It's telling me I'm in the red lodge. Now here we have 4 crosses. 4 crosses. Each cross is the center of the zodiac. Each cross is the center of the zodiac. But you see your trinity here. That means that the God man has no cross. That means that he's above the zodiacs. Now, that means these two masters work together. How do I know this? You see these 2 crosses, 2 zodiacs. They said that the bear, let me go back for a second. Right here, count the number. It said the female bear came out of the woods. Rodney mean woods, y'all. The female bear came from Rodney and tore up 42 lads of their number. 42 is 4 12s. That's 4 years. That's 4 years. That's 4 years. Now watch where the 4 years come in at. It's 2 years for me and it's 2 years for her. We both gotta ascend. That's 2 years apiece because it's split. They're split. The 2 years is split between the 2. How do I know this? It say right here, 42 lads. Then it say, go up, you bald head. That's 1 bald head. Go up, you bald head. That's 2. So that's telling me that there's 2 people here that's being discussed with these bears. And the bears, even here, tie back to the red lodge. Now look, Care Bears is the woman. Now watch here, next one. Now, you see the 2 bears they eating babies. Who does that? Kronos. Kronos eat the babies. Kronos is a male. right? But look at the Care Bears. The mother protects the babies. Chronos eat the babies. That's telling me, Chronos eat the babies is telling me that there's something to do with time, which takes me to the two people waiting the 2 years each, right? It's the two people waiting the 2 years each. Now let's go back. Go back to, okay, now here, each one of those crosses is representing a year, right? Each one of those crosses represent a year. That's 12 months, 24. 12 months, 24. You add them together, you got 48 months. I'm showing you how I read the sign. I can't get no more concise than this. This is a physics problem. This is quantum physics. But I'm making it plain enough for a baby to understand it. All right, now, from there, let me see if I can find my vesicle, my two triangles. Oh, I showed you the triangles that I was sent. All right, now that that's cleared up, I have to go and I have to identify the symbol of the diamondback because we already identified the RH negative tells me that I got to identify a reptile, right? The RH negative on the shield told me I had to identify a reptile. So here's what I did. I'm going to look this up right quick. Don't tread image. Now, I'm looking this up in real time, and as I look it up, I'm going to let y'all see it. Here. See that? Don't tread on me. I didn't want to load for a minute there. Let's see if it'll load. I want y'all to see the symbol because the snake and the diamond has to tie me into the militia. Look, diamondback, rattlesnake. I told y'all the Southwest was the home range of the diamondback rattlesnake. Now, watch this. Watch this. Jet leaf. Jet is a plane. Li is Lee. That tied me back to Asia. That's the Lee line. My father's middle name is Lee, but it's spelled different. And fee is a price. Who paid the price? 3 times 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. So this is the price that the man had to pay. As you go down, it's a U.S. veteran. You see the veteran? So that ties me into the veteran struggle, my Wounded Warrior Project. Owned Biz. Now that's Biz Markie. This is Biz Markie. So this is telling me hip-hop is involved. Right? Now, message and rattlesnake design. That's two things. That's a message. What's the message? Don't tread on me. Diamondback. Mouth is open. The snake is poised to strike. Rattle. Don't tread on me. Flags. I mean, it's a warning. They flagging the embroidered deco. What's deco? Deco. A live press conference, and in the course of the live, the lady didn't change clothes 2 and 3 times, and nobody don't notice it. But it's supposed to be live. It's said right on the TV. See, so it's stuff like that. If they ain't ready, if they don't notice that shit and they not questioning that kind of shit, then to try to explain anything of a heavier informational significance is a waste of time. They haven't even got the basics down. So I wouldn't explain it to them. I let them catch the shock and awe and find out the hard way.
Tough love, huh? So, okay, I think I got 2 more questions, then I'm gonna let you roll with it. The Luciferian conspiracy. What was that all about in your words?
The Luciferian conspiracy was the one drop of blood that they needed to clean up the great debauchery, as Bobby Hemmett called it. And the Lucifer, meaning the enlightened, the one that can see, the aware, the illuminated one, the one who's not diet woke, but fully woke. The illuminated one becomes a Luciferian by definition of the word. And the Luciferian conspiracy is an agreement that two or more people who put together, they made an effort to accomplish the agreement. And to us, the agreement would be considered criminal. So for all of us who've been feeling the pains of this doctrine of white supremacy, which is a military laid out strategy to dominate, conquer us, and make us forfeit our birthright, that's the conspiracy, right? The one who can see the conspiracy is the one they classify as Lucifer. Any one of them. It's not an exclusive term to one individual. So when they use it in the Bible, oh, Lucifer, son of the morning, they ain't even talking to Lucifer. They talking to his mama, because it say she was going to exalt her stars above the stars of heaven. What's the stars of heaven? The Orionos. So when you look at the sky, what's above Orion? Ursa. Ursa Major, Ursa Minor. We call it Big Dipper, Little Dipper.
Right.
Right? That's the only thing above. So whoever it is, Mama Bear and Baby Bear.
Mama Bear, Baby Bear.
Right? So who is the one they call the rebellious woman? Mary. What the fuck did she do? Right? She saw that it was fit for her to make one that could rival the rest of the guys without the need of the seed of the man, taking us back to the beginning, parthenogenesis, right. An immaculate conception. And she got to get permission from Earth for him to be an earthborn. She got to get a permission from Prime Creator to create the soul. Once you get them two creations, then all she got to do is use the power of will. We are so underestimating our own power of will. That's why we so freely give up our willpower to others to take control of.
So how do people learn to not, pretty much give up their willpower? Like what would you suggest that they start doing?
Do what you know is right, and don't change your mind just because somebody disagreed with you. That's when you surrender in your will. When you know that you shouldn't be sending your child to public school, but everybody else doing it, so you doing it, you giving your willpower to somebody else to use. Right? When you know your vote don't mean shit, and you go down there and cast a goddamn survey, right? So hoping you win something on a coupon, and you know that shit don't count. It's not a secret the people don't elect the president, because they tell you they got to wait for the electoral vote, which is controlled by the electoral college.
That's right.
Before the electoral college is seated, they know what all of their vote is before they even give them a seat. They know if they vote Democrat or Republican before they ever have polls for the people to go do their survey.
And usually when they actually elect a person, it's because that person is already in the loop with them to be able to carry out whatever vision that they foresee, or wherever the ball is rolling at that moment.
Look, to even be a candidate, you're in the loop. But to determine the vote is determined by electors. Electors is the electoral college. The electoral college is the one seating the president. Who is these motherfuckers and where they come from? And why do they got to cast a vote separate from the popular vote when the popular vote should carry the state? Popular vote don't carry the state. The electoral vote carry the state.
That's like some old socialist type shit, because that means the small minority of people have more power than the great minority.
Right, but here's the thing. You're going to find this statement in the history books, and the statement says we must maintain the appearance of an adversarial system in order to maintain the system. Remember, most people don't know that it used to be the Democratic Republic Party and there was one party.
Right.
Most people don't know about the Whig Party. They don't know about the Commonwealth Party. They don't know about the Confederate Party was a legitimate party. They don't know about that stuff.
So when the master teacher, this is going to another bill. When the master teacher was teaching us about the Yamasee Native American Washita Creek Nation, um, and he was trying to get us involved in identifying ourselves with that particular school of thought. How does that relate to now and what we should be doing?
So remember, Baba didn't just take us through one school of thought.
That's right.
We went through Islam, the 3 degrees, Islam, Judaism, Christianity. We went through the orders of Melchizedek. We went through our Egyptian orders. We went through our Nuwabian shrine orders. In order to put all of these orders together, he has to be a grand potentate, which means the one who creates the orders in order to raise the blind, deaf, and dumb. He got to be authentic with it, you know. So going through a school of thought without taking a side, looking at it objectively, gives you the ability to see what's really going on over here. So whatever school of thought he took us through, it was for us to see it so that when it come back up, we can recognize it. The way that they had us before, we was on one school of thought and one school of thought only. Go to school, go to church, get a good education, get a good job, and die. That was it. Now we're looking at different ideas, expanding the mind. When the mind started to expand, once some motherfucker hears some shit that he didn't know before and he know it now, he can't unlearn that shit.
Yeah.
So all of the schools of thought was to give you an inside look from the outside of what's going on in the degree. He looking at it literally from what we call the third eye perspective, as like remote viewing the structure, the layout, the cause and effect potentialities within the order in order to teach you how to rise above it. That's what's the catalyst behind Nuwapu.
You said
So
that's the catalyst. You said that's the catalyst behind Nuwabi.